What's up, guys? It's Brian from HASHWAREHUB. It's about 8:25 p.m. Eastern Time, January 17, 2018. We're coming to you with a brand new crypto trading video. Litecoin and Verge are the topics of this video. But first, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, upvote, re-steam, a comment in DTube or Steemit or YouTube would be greatly appreciated. Thanks for everybody that's been chiming in. Really appreciate it. Things are coming along pretty well, swimmingly, as far as our channels, and I would like to continue in that direction. So if you guys like what we have to say and you're a part of other social media types of platforms, feel free to post our videos or refer us. Would be greatly appreciated. So let's get into it right now. We're looking at Litecoin. This is Litecoin on an hourly basis. We should probably be looking at it a 4-hour basis to begin with, but I had it on an hourly basis for really no good reason. So last time we were talking about Litecoin, we were talking about this possible bearish flag, also the triangle, and also the way in which all cryptocurrencies tend to trade together. So if there's one cryptocurrency that is the behemoth, the one that shifts all the tides, that's Bitcoin, and then everything from there plays its tune in a slightly different tone or a slightly different key, but it's basically the same score. So they're all playing the same, the same song, but in slightly different tunes or slightly different keys. So that's what I had said there, and what we were questioning was specifically right here whether or not this was a bullish wick or if this was something that was going to continue to move down from this point forward. Bitcoin at the time, I was flipping back and forth between Litecoin and Bitcoin. Bitcoin at that time was showing that it was coming down, but we were presenting a bit more of a bullish scenario with regards to Litecoin, with the caveat that Bitcoin is the large behemoth, and that's going to push the rest of these markets around. And that's exactly what happened here with Litecoin. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to start removing things real quick so you can start seeing more of what is going on here. Let's delete this and delete this. Okay. This makes it a little clearer. I still want to go ahead and keep this mustardy line in, and same thing with this plum line here, because we do believe that the market will get to these levels again after this crash happens. And we're going to start creating videos once things start kind of leveling out a bit. We're going to start creating videos of updated price projections with respect of this new kind of correction. So not really much actually changes, believe it or not. It's basically just a different path to the same destination. So what do we have here? We have this flat correction, this ABC correction according to Elliott Waves, which if you watch any of my videos, you'll see that A is made up of 3 waves, B is made up of 3 waves, and C is made up of 5 waves. So what did we do? We started counting the 5 waves. And this is done wrong, so I'm going to do it again. This is technically, it was done wrong, but everything was in the right place. But it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the way in which we're seeing it right now. However, there's one thing I don't like about it. One thing I don't like about it. This 4-wave correction is a pretty large correction within this downward wave, this number 2 downward wave. So I would like to count it as number 5, as the 5th wave being down here. Why would I like it? Not that I want to see the market to fall off. I want to see the market to correct properly, because if it corrects properly, then we are at a basis, we're at a solid foundation from which to move up from then. And I had been talking about this for a long time on Bitcoin, and I always had in mind all the other altcoins as well, because Bitcoin is the moon that moves the tides. So So, and I had said some long time ago, and I got a lot of flack from a lot of people saying when we had the first part of that correction that I really want to see the price going down to $8,000 or $9,000, and everybody was telling me that I was crazy and I wasn't good for the market, and et cetera, et cetera. So, but no, actually great for the market, because you want to get the weak holders out. You want to get the, you know, the frim-fram, the, you know, the all that junk out of the market. So in order to do that, you have to go ahead and scare the bejesus out of them by the price going down, first of all, and second of all, you got to make them lose patience. And you make them lose patience by the correction going on forever. Not forever, but even for a very, very long time. It feels like forever. Those are the two main ways to go ahead and get all the soft holders out of the market. So yeah, we do believe that there's a good chance that Litecoin could come down to this $100 level. Yeah, it's actually very probable that could happen. You know, at the same time, what may happen, which sometimes what you see when there's kind of like this shortened wave, is that there's some other type of chart pattern that happens here, and this goes on for days, right? It could be a triangle, it could be another like flat correction, it could be all sorts of different types of patterns that could just extend out for days and days and days. So it doesn't necessarily it doesn't necessarily need to correct as far as price level. Time can also do it as well, and I know that there's some like hardcore Elliottians that would be like gasping right now, but if you trade the markets as long as I have, since 99, through all sorts of different crashes and huge bullish markets, that's what happens, at least in my opinion. So yeah, so possibly we could see a $100 level here. Let's also take a look at Verge. I've spoken about Litecoin much longer than I wanted to. Let's take a look at Verge. Okay, so Verge, the last time we made a video, I actually don't remember, but I think if you're interested, go back. I think it was sometime around here. And what we had done was we had drawn this ABC correction. This is all still taken from that video. These are all these lines are taken from this video. And what we had drawn out was specifically this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you know, that's part of this C wave. And again, I don't like the way that 3 is coming back so hard. All right, it could mean an end. It could mean a bottom right here by 3, and then really we'd have to zoom in kind of more towards like an hourly basis to find the 3 and the 4 that would be somewhere over here, and then this would be 5. But you know, there's still time to tell. There's still a few days to tell before to see what exactly going on here. And so yes, I do believe that, you know, the price could get to something as low as, you know, 3 cents. It could happen. You know, my true expectation is that it would be somewhere around here along this support level. But my bearish expectation is somewhere around here. Okay, so that's what's going on with Verge. Not really much else to say about it. But what I do want to do is I want to go ahead and take a look at the algos to take a measurement of the sell-off, in particular with Litecoin. So hold on one sec. All right, so this is Litecoin. This is a daily basis, Poloniex data, and this is pretty much a lot of data. So I think this goes back to 2015, some of the earliest parts of Litecoin trading. So at least as far as I can remember. So what are we looking at here? The trend strength indicator is pointing down. It's reaching towards a bearish level. We have D trend, it's going down. We have the MACD that's crossed over a long time ago. You know, MACD crossed over December 22nd approximately. And the sign indicator is pointing down too. But what are we really interested in here? How do we go ahead and see deterministically Are we at an end? Are we like in an oversold position? Okay, one of the things I don't like using, I don't like RSI. I think it's junk. I don't like stochastics. I think it's the same thing. MACD, I like a touch. The only reason why I have it on here is because some people do use it, but the MACD we use here is really, really different. But I put it up here because it is similar to what some other people use as far as MACDs are concerned. So I don't like those indicators for a lot of different reasons, but I'm not going to get into it here. This isn't the time or the place for it. What we will be doing is be creating our own indicators that we will be putting on TradingView if you guys are interested. So everything you see here in some form or the other will be on TradingView at one point. We're working on that. But one of the things I want to take a look at is the D trend, right? The D trend is really kind of like, it just strips all the data out and it just gives it to you like in raw form, in the truest form possible. So we could, if this line right here where the crosshairs are approximates kind of where the D trend is right now, we can go back and take a look and see how many times the market has gone ahead and been at this level as far as the D trend is concerned. And we see that it's happened a lot of times. Let's say, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can probably call this one 6, 7, 8, 9, a bunch of them, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. A bunch of them right here. Let's call it, almost 20 already. Few times here. Let's call this like 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. So, yeah, it's been there a lot of times. So, it's been there a lot of times, which makes me to believe that it's truly not oversold. So at what level do I think it would be oversold? Something a little bit lower. Okay, like here. Right? This is kind of where I think it would be really oversold. Right around this level right here. Why? Because then we have like, it touched here once. It touched here again. It touched here again. Here, here, here. And you could possibly say here and definitely here. So there's far few data points. And what that leads me to believe is that relatively, that is a much larger sell-off, correction, whatever you want to call it, than what we're having right now. So in order for that to happen, I do believe that the market has to go ahead and hit that bottom of that fifth Elliott wave. Okay, and I made a few videos on this today. I think I made some yesterday, in a similar fashion, saying the same thing. It doesn't mean that the correction could not be over, right? And so that's why it comes down to trading. And when you trade, you need to ladder in your trades. So, right now, arguably, we're in the fourth or the fifth wave. So what you would do is you would start laddering in your trades. You would start putting limit orders in based on that Elliott wave count that I had been giving for days now, well over days now, of that ABC correction. So the bottom of the fourth, through the fifth to below the to below the fifth is where you start laddering in your trades. So that's really the best way to go about trading, because no one's going to be able to pick a bottom, and you're definitely not going to be able to pick a top. So that's the way in which we go about trading. It's worked for us, and some of the largest money managers do the same thing. So we're going to leave it there. Again, this video went on for way longer than I wanted to, but if you have any questions, definitely ask us. And your Resteem or upvote, your subscription, or any other notification bell or commentary or posting on any type of social media platforms would be greatly appreciated. Happy trading, and we will be speaking to you guys soon.